So this Saturday for Mexican Independence Day, we have Jack Della Maddalena versus Kevin Holland, Big Mouth Kevin Holland, in the co-main event. In terms of predicting this matchup, it's kind of tricky here. It's a really difficult one to kind of assess in a sense, where we have a guy in Jack Della who kind of got somewhat exposed. In my opinion, I didn't think he got exposed, but in some people's eyes, they seem to think that he did. I think what really mainly showed in that matchup against Basil Hafez was somewhat of the low IQ takedown defense of Jack Della Maddalena. And I don't think it would play much of a factor in this matchup against Kevin Holland, but it might just show itself or put itself into fruition against him. But I think in terms of this matchup, I don't think either guy has to worry about a takedown being shot. Maybe a panic one if one of them does get hurt by a punch in this matchup on the feet. Right, the majority of the time, Kevin Holland is a stand-up, lanky striker, while Jack Della Maddalena is majority of the time a boxer. So I don't think either guy has to worry about a takedown being shot either of their way. So this fight being purely on the feet kind of poses a threat to one, because again, Jack Della is a kind of I wouldn't say a short or stocky guy, but he isn't really a long guy like Kevin Holland. Pause. Kevin Holland is more of a guy who is a rangy dude, and it might pose some issues in the game of Jack Della Maddalena with a guy who's this long. But then again, Jack Della Maddalena also fought Randy Brown, who is a similar has a similar archetype or build to Kevin Holland, a tall, lanky guy who has a really long reach and can land shots from afar. So that is my main huge worry in terms of this matchup for Jack Della Maddalena. And then for Kevin Holland, facing a guy who's a probably, I think, more technical and a superior striker than him, can he land a solid blow on Jack Della Maddalena and crack that chin of his? Because we haven't really seen anybody pose too big of a threat to Jack Della on the feet. I'm going to call him JDM because it's getting a bit too weird. Jack Della Maddalena is a long name for me to say, so JDM will stick to that. But can Kevin Holland find a way, I would say, pressure JDM back? Because the majority of his fights has been him walking down his opponents and landing big shots. It's how he caught Randy Brown, was by walking him down and getting him backed up against the cage, then landing a nasty body shot and then a right hand to eventually putting down and TKOing, submitting Randy Brown on the ground with a rear naked choke. So maybe if Kevin Holland can find a way to negate the pressure of Jack Della or JDM, sorry, I'm still going back on my word here, but negate the pressure of JDM, maybe he can find a way to outstrike him. Maybe. I don't really think that's going to be a possibility for Kevin Holland. Outstriking JDM is a really tall task to fulfill. And for JDM, can he deal with the long range, pause again, of Kevin Holland in this matchup? And I think he'll be able to. I think with Kevin Holland, it's kind of weird. He seems to not care so much about winning. That's a big X factor in this. Whenever I watch Kevin Holland fight, like against Wonderboy, I feel like if he really wanted to win and get that paycheck from the Wonderboy fight, he could have grappled him. There were several times in that matchup where he had Wonderboy down. He could have just stayed on top and ground and pounded and probably won that round and went on to beat Wonderboy. But he decided to be more exciting and tried to just stay on the feet with Wonderboy, which already is a huge mistake. It's already a really dumb, low IQ thing to do. But watching that Ponzinibbio fight with Kevin Holland again, like he was losing to Ponzinibbio before TKOing with that left hook, I think it was. He was losing to Ponzinibbio, who I think is kind of over the hill, kind of washed up. He's old Argentinian man. I don't rate that performance too highly. Even though Kevin Holland got the win and was able to finish Ponzinibbio, I don't think it was a great win by Kevin Holland. He kind of had a really big issue in dealing with the leg kicks from Ponzinibbio. But then again, JDM is not really a leg kicking kind of guy. He's a majority boxer. So I just don't know how this is going to fare well, because both of these guys don't really attack the weaknesses of each other. Again, JDM is a stand-up striker. Striking with him plays into his field, but we haven't seen JDM really fight a guy as good as Kevin Holland on the feet with that range as well, and with the power of Kevin Holland as well. Kevin Holland has not a crazy amount of power, but he has enough to crack somebody's chin. And if you hit you clean, you're going down and probably going out. But the same can be said for JDM, because if he touches your chin clean, especially when he's fresh in the first round, you're going good nighty night, good bye bye. So it's really a hard prediction to make, but I'm going to go ahead and take JDM in this. I think he's just more technical. I think he knows how to back down and approach a fight against a guy like Kevin Holland. I think he'll be the one pressuring, and I think he'll land a slick body shot and will hurt Kevin Holland. And I think he'll break to the pressure of Jack Della Maddalena. Now, it can go either way. We might see that for the first time, JDM getting cracked on the chin and being put down and having a really difficult fight with a guy like Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland just doesn't scream to me like he really is in it to win it all the time. Maybe now, since he's fighting a guy who's actually really high ranked and he's not in the main event, he'll take this more seriously. But I just really doubt that, man. I think Big Mouth has a really bad habit of just trying to make a fun fight, which I love him for. I really rate him for that. But I think in terms of picking a fight for him to win, I don't think he's not all in as I want him to be into strictly winning a fight. He's not willing to make it boring and stay on the back foot and land at range against JDM. He's willing to go in there and probably trade with him, which I think is an absolute mistake. You're playing right into JDM's forte, his domain, his realm, so to speak, or for lack of a better term. He's going to get probably put down and TKO'd by JDM in the first round. I really do believe that. If JDM didn't fight Randy Brown and wasn't able to deal with him as well, or had a difficult time with the range of Randy Brown, maybe I would pick Kevin Holland to win this. But JDM just knows what he's doing. When I watch a JDM fight, he just simply knows how to approach a fight and how to beat a guy at pretty much every single facet. Even though it was a tough fight for him against Basil Hafez, he was able to land the shots when he needed to stay safe on the ground, and on the feet, he was superior to Basil Hafez. I think he'll have an easier time with Kevin Holland, a guy who isn't going to grapple with him, that he has no really big threat, or he's not too scared of a takedown coming his way against him. Kevin Holland's going to go into this and try to make it a fun fight, a fun scrap, and try to put down or maybe pressure JDM. And I think it's going to backfire on them, and we're going to see JDM just crack Kevin Holland on the chin, maybe rock him, and then finish him off with body shots. I think he'll crumble to JDM's body shots, because again, those are the slickest thing in MMA. I think having a solid body shot in your game is the best thing for you. Not many guys are prepared against left hooks to the body, and when a guy like JDM who just drills that shit constantly, it's a really big emphasis in his game to land body shots. And when you're long, have a long torso like Kevin Holland, they're only going to be more open on you. So I can really just see JDM really pressuring Kevin Holland, getting his back against the cage, and then landing a nice, probably a right hook, and then it rocks Kevin Holland or hurts him for a second, gets him a bit stumbled, and then he lands a left hook to the body, and that really hurts Kevin Holland, and it puts him down, I would say, late to mid first round TKO for JDM. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out here. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for notifications. Peace.